That gives you just a flavour of some of the highlights of what we did in 2017. To give you a little idea of the comparison, back in 2004, our first full year, we managed to sterilise over 1,200 dogs. That was a lot of dogs for 3 people working with volunteer vets, and the 3 people, the dog catchers and the nurses in those days, but was not really having the big impact that we wanted. This year we sterilised over 53,000 animals across Thailand, with many of those obviously in Bangkok, others in Phuket, and still more in Phang Nga and now in Samui. So you can see the impact we're having. Over 3,500 animals are admitted to our hospitals, both the cat hospital and the dog hospital, for treatment. I don't know if you've any thought of how many animals' lives you actually impact, because every dog we sterilise not only stops that dog having puppies, but also any surviving puppies that they had also having puppies, and so on. And it's been proved that we have saved millions of unwanted puppies and kittens from being born into what would have been a short life of disease and starvation. 2017 saw us sterilising more animals, I understand, than any other organisation anywhere. Of course, there was one major event in 2017 which had a huge impact not only on me personally, but of course on Soi Dog, and that is when we lost both my and Soi Dog's inspiration, Jill, earlier in this year. I can tell you that if Jill was to see the results from last year, she would be saying, wow. She would be incredibly proud of the staff. She loved the staff here. She loved the work you did, and she was always 100% the staff were the most important after the dogs. One thing that you may not be aware of, going back to 2004, Jill and Leonie, when she was still alive, they had a dream to build a sanctuary. Leonie, she wanted to build a sanctuary for abandoned puppies. Jill more for dogs that had been abandoned on the streets that couldn't survive. But at that time, back in 2004, that was a very distant dream. Of course, in recent years, Jill has seen that dream through her own drive and determination come to pass. The shelter you see here today was completely designed and built by her, down to the hospitals, both the cat hospital and the new dog hospital, of course. Everything she designed, and it was her determination to have such a shelter that led to it. In memory of Jill and in honour of that fact, we are going to, hopefully at the end of this month, at the anniversary of what would have been her 59th birthday, rename the shelter the Jill Dalley Sanctuary. So that is a change you will see in 2018. In the last few years, Jill and I's dreams did change, of course. We started to look further afield than Phuket. That included stopping the dog meat trade in Thailand. And now we're even looking at trying to stop the dog meat trade in other countries. In addition, as you saw in 2017, our work in Bangkok has drastically increased. Also now we're working in Samui, Phang Nga. Coming from next year, we will also be working, after we've finished in Samui and Koh Phanang, moving to Nakhon Si Thammarat. Here on Phuket, where of course most of you work, you will also be seeing many changes. Here at the shelter itself, the new buildings will start commencing, the building of them very shortly on the new land. And what you may not know, some of you, is that the land adjacent to that, behind the existing puppy run, that too we're negotiating to buy and to increase the number of actually shelters and runs we have for dogs. That could accommodate at least another 200 animals. And that's important because although we're looking to also double the number of adoptions next year, we are starting to bring in more dogs from other parts of Thailand. So it's imperative that we have the space for them. In addition, in our community outreach program, which started off this year, that too, in fact, this month is going to be doubling in size. We're having a second vehicle to split the island in two to allow more work to be done there. And our education program is also expanding. I'm sure you've seen Kun film with and some of the staff this week with children from one of the 3 schools we're working with at the moment. Next school year, which starts only in a couple of months' time, we'll be targeting 10 schools. And this is where we see the huge impact that can be made in changing the attitudes of the next generation of children here in Phuket, and hopefully eventually across Thailand. Our aim is always to grow. We would be setting a goal this year of achieving 60,000 sterilisations. That's a big ask, but we know that you or everybody working together, we can achieve this. Doesn't matter what your role is, whether you're on the front line at a mobile clinic actually performing the sterilisations, whether you're catching the dogs for those sterilisations, whether you're cleaning the instruments, whether you're raising the funds to enable us to buy the drugs, whether you're providing information for visitors and tourists, people who actually support us and make all this possible. Doesn't matter what your role is, it is important. If it wasn't important, you wouldn't be working here. So I thank you all for everything you've done to make 2017 such a success, but I'm calling from you to do even more in 2018 so we can impact the lives of even more animals here in Thailand. In reality, the animals here are really we're all they have. So please remember that. And remember the huge impact that your work does have in changing the lives of so many animals here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as I said earlier, if Jill was here, she would be thanking you as well. Thank you.